So in 2004, I started my graduate work at Carnegie Mellon, and I was looking for a hairy, scary problem to spend 5 years of my life working on. And I guess all of you guys should do the same. And at that same year, Pakala and Sokolo wrote this amazing paper in Science magazine in 2004. And what they said was, and this is the first line of their paper, humanity already possesses the fundamental scientific, technical, and industrial know-how to solve the carbon and climate change problem in the next 50 years. All right, so we have the solution, so what are we waiting for, right? So what did they propose in their paper? They said you can think about stabilizing our CO2 emissions by envisioning a stabilization triangle. So a variety of different technologies go into the stabilization triangle, everything from efficiency and conservation, renewable electricity, carbon capture and storage, which basically means capturing the CO2 from a power plant and putting it into underground aquifers, planting trees, nuclear energy, biomass, and fuel switching. So out of all of these different technologies, they also state that each of these can reduce 1 gigaton of carbon per year. Wow. What they also state in their paper is improvements in efficiency and conservation offer the greatest potential to provide a wedge. So my big, hairy, scary question was, why is it that Americans don't conserve resources and adopt efficient technologies? So I thought about why we don't act, and you can think of two separate models for why we don't act. One is the information deficit model. So if only you told me what to do, I'd do it. I just don't know. I'm just completely uninformed. The other model is the motivation deficit model. So, my neighbors are not doing it, it's too expensive, too much time, too much effort, I just don't feel like doing it. So you just have to motivate me, and once you motivate me, I'll do it. So today I'll be talking to you about the information deficit model and what do we really think about how much of a resource we use. So let me start off by asking you guys a question. If you were to be asked by me right now, what is the single most effective thing you can do to conserve energy in your life, what would you say? Just shout it out. Turn off the lights. Hang your clothes. Less washing. Anyone else? Line drawing. All right, so here's what my participants said. 20% of my participants said, turn off the lights. All right, single most effective thing. Then conserve energy, I don't even know what that means. Drive less, bike, use public transportation, change the setting of the thermostat, change my lifestyle, not have children. So in 2008, Gardner and Stern actually said that turning off the light is great, not in use, turn off the juice, but it's not the single most effective thing you can do to decrease energy use in your life. Here is where we actually use energy in the home. Number one use is space heating, followed by appliances, electronics, lighting, water heating, and air conditioning. So we really miss the mark in terms of thinking of what is most effective in terms of changing our own behavior. Next, what I wanted to do is I wanted to figure out how do people really think about energy. From the moment we wake up in the morning, we're constantly using energy in all of its different manifestations. Heating, lighting, cooling, we drive places, check our email. So over here on the horizontal, on the vertical axis, you have people's perceptions of energy use, and on the x-axis, you have actual energy used. And all of the data that falls along the diagonal line, which is your y is equal to x line, means people's perceptions match reality. Anything that falls below the diagonal line means I'm underestimating how much energy these different appliances use, and anything above the diagonal line means I'm overestimating. Now, what are the units of energy? Do you guys know? I've actually tried going to bars and asking people. It's really fun. You should try it later tonight. Some people know BTUs, but I've had folks actually look at me really perplexed. So what I said was, assume that a 100-watt light bulb uses 100 units of energy in 1 hour. How many units of energy would all of these different appliances use in 1 hour? And that's basically equal to 1 watt-hour. So here is the data. Most of the curve actually falls below the diagonal line, means in general we tend to underestimate how much energy we use. But let me sort of unpackage this curve by giving you a few examples. So people think that a laptop actually consumes twice as much energy than what it really does. So people think it's actually equivalent to 100-watt light bulb being left on for an hour, when it's only half that amount. So that's an overestimation. Another example is people think about, when you ask people about dishwashers, they underestimate it by a factor of 9. So the underestimation starts getting more and more severe as you think about appliances that use a lot more energy. So people think 2 light bulbs when it's actually 18. Next, if you change your clothes washing setting from hot to cold, people tend to underestimate the amount of energy saved by a factor of 40, right? So people think it's equivalent to 1 light bulb when it's actually equivalent to 40. Okay? So again, the challenge here is, and this is all of the data on the next slide, so the challenge then is for academics and activists, practitioners, is how do we hold on to the end of this curve and pull it up towards the diagonal? How do we improve people's perceptions of how much energy we're using in our day-to-day activities? And then the more controversial question is, does improving our perceptions actually lead to behavior change? So next, so since water and energy are in this passionate tango, from the moment we wake up, we're also using water. What do you think are the most effective things you can do in your life to decrease your water use? Quit showering. No showers. Okay? Don't do laundry, so quit showering. Don't do laundry. Anyone else? Turn off the water while brushing your teeth. All right, you guys are a lot like my participants. So 43% of my participants said shorter showers. All right. Next, 10% said turn off the water while doing activities not including brushing my teeth. 7% said turn off water while brushing their teeth. 5% conserve water, again, very vague. And then 4% do less laundry or full loads of laundry. So let's see how this stacks up against where we actually use water in the home. So the number 1 water use in the home is our toilet. We flush throughout the day, and all of that water in terms of our gallons sort of adds up, it aggregates up into quite a large amount, followed by clothes washers, showers, faucets, leaks, and others. So we really tend to underestimate the value of our toilets. So again, I wanted to create the same curve for water. What do our perceptions of water use really look like? So what is the unit of measurement for water? Gallons. We make decisions based on gallons almost every day. We buy gallons of milk, gallons of gasoline. So here I didn't actually have to provide people with a metric that they needed to understand. So here it goes. Here's the curve. So the first thing you notice is, again, severe underestimation. And the underestimation is more significant as you start thinking about activities that use a lot of water. So let me walk you through a couple of examples. People think a standard washer actually uses 3 times less water than what it really does. So they actually think, on average, that it uses 14 gallons when it actually uses 40. An outdoor pool is underestimated by a factor of 18, so people think roughly 900 gallons when it uses 17,000 gallons, so on and so forth. So here are all of the activities that I asked. So again, the challenge is, how do you hold on to this curve and pull it up towards a diagonal? Can we improve people's perceptions of how much water and energy different activities use throughout the day? So here are what both of the curves look like on the same chart. What you notice for energy is it almost becomes a flat line, right? So when I think about appliances that use a lot of energy, the relative differences between these appliances, they all get smushed up together. So this is what we call the compression bias. I really can't tell the difference when it comes to these appliances that use a lot of energy. The good news is we do a lot better for water. There's less of the severe compression. It doesn't flatline almost immediately. So that's good news. The bad news is that both of these resources are completely underestimated, and they're underestimated significantly. So this is what I wanted to show you about information deficits, but here's what you can do in your life to decrease your energy and water use. So some of the most effective actions that you can actually take are replacing your incandescent bulbs with light-emitting diodes. The prices have gone down. You can go to the stores today and buy them. Buy a fuel-efficient car the next time you're buying a car. Get frequent car tune-ups. Upgrade your heating, ventilation, and AC system. Carpool with your neighbors to work if you can. Next, in terms of how do you save water, install a low-flush toilet. Think about a water-efficient clothes washing machine. Reducing shower times from an average of 8 minutes to 5 minutes. So the average for America is 8 minutes at the moment. Only wash full loads of laundry. So believe it or not, a lot of us only wash half loads of laundry, which is actually a huge waste of water. And then if you can, try this out. Reduce flushes by 25%. So what I wanted to sort of walk you through today was a lot of data on how we misperceive how much resources we use. And that sort of, again, goes back to the information deficit work that I've been doing for the past 14 years. But what I'd also want to sort of start the conversation with you about is how do we actually motivate change? So once we correct these misperceptions, what do we really do with that? How do we actually get people to change their behavior? And I don't have any actual grand silver bullet solutions, but this is what I'd like to challenge you with. Work with me on this problem. Thank you.